What's going on, everybody? It's Onion Rings. This is a follow-up to my Gears of War 3, or Gears of War 4, sorry, Horde 3.0 full explanation guide video that I did. I do have a better mic now, so hopefully you guys can hear me better. I do want to apologize if you hear the birds in the background. I'm recording this kind of early in the morning before they get hyped up. They're usually really loud later in the day, so I wanted to get this out of the way. But I just wanted to do a follow-up. I said some things in my first video that weren't 100% correct. I'm going to fix those, give you some more tips and tricks, and also focus on giving tips and tricks for each class separately. Now, one thing I said in the first video that may or may not have been wrong was that the Fabricator can be destroyed. I still don't have proof of this. I could test it, but I don't know how to test it, honestly. Because the enemies don't actually target the Fabricator. The only way I could see it being destroyed, if it can be, is by AoE attacks. I've had carriers on top of the Fabricator and they've never destroyed it, so I'm going to assume that it is false. But please, be careful if you're going to use the Fabricator as cover. I don't want you to lose your whole however far in you are, because if the guy that told me it can be destroyed said that if it is destroyed you fail completely. Again, I don't know if it's true, but just be careful just in case it is. And then, how to level up fast. That is still pretty accurate. Recently there was some changes to how fast you earn credits and XP, overall XP, and your class XP. It's still kind of slow, but it is definitely faster, I can tell. I got to 7 actually decently quick, and I'm already a good bit into 8, as you can see here. So they did buff it up, which is really good. The credit rates are amazing. On casual, you can probably earn, I think, around 400 or 500 credits if you go all 50 waves, not counting if you're using a bounty. I did hardcore last night, and I was getting like 200 for the first 10 waves, then like 300 for the next, 400, 500, so on and so forth. I got 560 for the 50th wave, plus like 40 for the consecutive bonus. The consecutive bonuses have been severely nerfed to make people not try so hard for the bonus, and I do appreciate this change because I myself was trying for the consecutive bonus way too hard, and if I wiped, I would get mad and leave. Like if I was playing with randoms and we lost the consecutive bonus, I would leave and try to find a new game. So they nerfed it to where you get more just for completing it and less for the consecutive. So if you wipe, don't feel bad about it. You're losing out on a little bit of credits, but not as much. You do still get a decent amount of XP for the consecutive bonus though, so try to still get it, but you don't necessarily have to quit and get mad if you lose it. But the best way to make credits now is to just play. I mean, honestly, you can still make a decent bit on casual. I prefer to play hardcore myself, especially if I'm by myself, because I find more actual better players in hardcore than I do in any other mode. You would think that playing an easier mode would be easier, but it's not, because the easier mode is filled with new people trying to learn what to do and how to play, and that just slams you in there with them, and then you end up losing and getting mad, or you have to carry and it gets frustrating. You get to the higher waves and they start quitting out because they suck and can't handle it or something. I would definitely recommend, if you're an experienced player, to try hardcore. But if you are one of those people I mentioned who is new and needs help and is struggling, then definitely try casual. If you feel like you're a little bit more advanced, normal's a good way to go, but don't try hardcore just yet. Hardcore isn't that bad, but it is still a little bit harder, and you do need to have a good team with cooperation, one of each class doing their role properly, except for snipers. I don't think you need snipers. I think snipers in this game are kind of they're fun, but I don't think they're as effective as other classes. But yes, leveling your class is a lot quicker now. Leveling up is a lot quicker. Like I said, for earning credits, the quickest way now is to just play. But also, I wanted to mention, when I recorded the first video, I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but every 5 levels you get a credit bonus. Level 1 to 5 is only 50, I think, but then anything higher every 10 or every 5 levels, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20, etc., all the way up to 100, you get 500 credits. So if you're playing a lot and you're leveling up a lot, you're gonna get a lot of credits. I find that I get 5 levels per game, sometimes 10, depending on how much I'm killing and how many ribbons I'm getting. I stand by what I said in the first video. Ribbons are still a very great way to level up. You can get up to like 4,000, maybe more XP per 10 waves if you're getting a lot of ribbons. Double kills, executions, whatever. If it's a ribbon and you can get it, go for it. They're still really good for getting XP, but you get a lot of credits for leveling up every 5 levels. And I also found out that there is something called re-upping. Basically, when you hit level 100, I thought the max level was 99, and then once you hit it, you were done. Turns out it's not. When you hit level 100, you can re-up. It's basically prestiging for like Call of Duty, but it's Gears of War. You basically just click a button down here that says re-up, and you just start leveling up again. It's literally for people who want to keep going, and I would highly, highly, highly recommend it, because then you can get the 500 credits per 5 levels all over again. I'm already 23. That's 1,500 credits plus the 50 for 1 to 5. But then the 5 to 10 is 500, the 10 to 15 is 500, and the 15 to 20 is 500. And I'm almost 25, which will be another 500. All the way up to 100 every 5 levels. So I'm going to get an extra 500 credits. And it's awesome. So that's enough about credits and XP and leveling. Now let's get into each class specifically. We'll start out with the soldier, because the soldier is what I've been playing a lot. I'm just going to give you some overall tips on what cards I prefer. You can already see them here. I would almost certainly go with damage and reload bonuses. These two are the most important for delivering high damage to your soldier. The ammo ones are completely optional. If you're okay with not having a lot of ammo and not having a big magazine, then you don't need these. Just go for whatever gives you more damage. You could go for a grenade and assault rifle build. You can do whatever you want, but I like having the extra ammo so I don't have to go and restock as frequently. And I like having a bigger magazine so I can deliver more damage quickly. Also, the bigger magazine really benefits the smaller magazine guns like the Retro Lancer and the Hammer Burst. If you like those guns but you hate how small their magazines are, then this will be a really good skill for you. But as you can see here, I have both my damage and reload bonuses maxed at 5. Oh, and that is something I should clarify that I got wrong in the first video, as I said that I thought you could get your cards up to 10. You cannot. They go to 5, which is good, because I thought 10 was a little bit high, because that would mean that this would be 100% and that would be 200%, and that would be a little OP. But no, all cards max at 5. So assault rifle damage max is at 50%. That's basically half of what your assault rifle already does added on. So say you do 10 damage per shot, you're going to do an extra 5 damage per shot. It's pretty awesome. The reload bonuses, again, it's 100% of whatever the reload bonus gives you. For the Hammer Burst, it's firing rate and damage, and for other guns, it's damage. Some guns, it's armor penetration, headshot power. For the Torque Bow, it's charge up speed, different kind of stuff like that. This just increases the reload bonuses. I wouldn't be able to tell you what it does for every gun, because I mean, I'm a soldier. I use assault rifles. I don't really pick up torque bows and stuff. I usually have 2 assault rifles on me. I usually run with my Lancer, and I'll either pick up a Hammer Burst or a Retro Lancer or something like that. But anyway, back to the cards. If you're a low level soldier, if you're only level 1 or you're level 3 and you only have 2 card slots, if you're level 1 and you only have 1 slot, I would highly recommend you go for the reload bonuses first. That way when you get perfect reloads, you're doing a lot of damage. Sure, you could go for the assault rifle damage, which will overall give you more damage even when you don't get that perfect reload, but if you're good at hitting those perfect reloads, I would highly recommend the reload bonuses, because the amount of damage provided by the reload boost is really good. Okay, so I've just looked it up, and it says that you get 8% extra damage per shot, plus, like we said, the other bonuses. Torque bows charge faster, boom shots have bigger radius, the ball talk shoots faster, stuff like that. You gain different bonuses, but what we really want to focus on here is the damage. That's 8% extra per shot times 100%, or plus 100%. I'm not sure if it's multiplicative or additive, but anyway, you get a 100% bonus, so that is extra damage, which is really good. I'm not 100% on the math. You guys will have to correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to say that it would be 80%, I think. 8 times 100 would be 80, I think. No, it would be 800. Yeah, I'm not sure on the math. I'm sorry about that. I probably should be better at math, but I'm not. You guys can figure it out on your own. It shouldn't be too hard to figure out. Just take the 8% and then calculate the 100% in. But all you really need to know though is that you're getting extra damage, and that's the good thing. That's why I'm suggesting the active reload boost. Can't English today. That's why I'm suggesting it as your first card if you've only got one card slot, because if you have it at a certain amount, it'll be pretty effective. At level 1 you get 20%, 2 is 40, 3 is 60, 4 is 80, 5 is 100. So even if you've only got maybe like 2 duplicates, that's still enough to get it to level 2, which is a 40% bonus, and that's pretty good. A 40% bonus on this at level 2 is equal to 20% at level 2 for the assault rifle damage. So you could be doing an extra 20% damage overall without the reload bonuses, or you could take that 8% with a 40% bonus every time you perfect reload. It's up to you guys. I prefer the reload one, but if you want to go for the assault rifle damage, that's cool too. Or what you can do is you can base it on which one's higher level. Maybe you got lucky with duplicates and you got a lot of one or the other. Then you can choose it that way. Like maybe this is at 40% already, even though you're only level 1. Maybe this one's at 40% and this one's not. I don't know. You'd have to base it on whatever you've got your hands on. But if you're a level 3, I would recommend them both actually then. Damage and the reload. They pair very well together. The damage does stack with the reload bonus, because you gotta remember that that extra 8% is 8% extra of the damage you're already doing. So if you've got this at 50%, then that means you're going to be doing an extra 50% damage, so you'll be doing a higher base damage per hit, and then when you get that perfect reload, you're going to be getting even more. So these two pair really well together. And then when you get to level 5 and you get a third card, you can go for ammo, or you can go for, let's see what we have here. You can go for carrying more grenades, doing more grenade damage, Hammer of Dawn if you have it, or you could throw on a general skill. You plant more grenades. You could throw on a general skill like Team Revive, carrying faster. Cover Boost is a soldier one you can choose. Another general, build discount, executed enemies drop more power, fortification health. You know, you choose what you want. I already told you guys what I prefer. I prefer AR damage, active reload boost, assault rifle magazine, assault rifle capacity, and then when I get to level 10, I'm going to have the Hammer of Dawn. The Hammer of Dawn is a very good skill if used in utility. I would not recommend it in a public match unless they all have microphones and they're willing to cooperate and communicate with you. Just tell them, look, let's save just a little bit of money on the side, and that way, if an emergency comes where we need to call down the hammer, we can do so. You can still use it in a public match if you hoard your points. Of course, that's going to get you some hate. People might not like you, especially if there's a scout on the team, because that's their job to pick up the power. But if you're playing a random or playing with randoms and there's no scout on the team and everybody's just picking up the power for themselves, by all means, grab the power for yourself, stash it, save it, and call down some hammer strikes. Just make sure you time it well. You don't want to do it right at the beginning of the match, because it does take, I'd say, about 10 seconds after you hear the locust like screaming when the wave number pops up and you hear like the locust screams and stuff. It does take about 10 to 15 seconds for them to fully spawn in and start coming out of the spawn, so I would wait a little bit before activating it to get the most effectiveness out of it. I don't know how many hammers actually come down, but I do know that the duration is based on the card level. I don't know how long the level 1 skill lasts. For me, it seems like it's about 3 seconds, but I'm not positive on that. It doesn't seem very long at all, but it is still strong. But it says in the bottom left there, you can see Fabricator option with 2-second duration, so if you get duplicates, you can level it up. Now, it would cost you so many duplicates to get this. If you're lucky enough and you get a lot of these during your openings, by all means, level this baby up and use it. But if you don't want the Hammer of Dawn, there are other options. Like I said, you could go for Team Revive, you could go for grenade stuff, you could even go for the cover boost. I thought about taking the cover boost when I'm running solo or when I'm playing with randoms. Like I said, the Hammer of Dawn might not be a good option when running with randoms because they may not save you enough points to call it in. So then the cover boost would be a very good viable option to replace it, because then you're going to get damage reduction while in cover up to, I do believe it's 50%. Not 100% on that. It could be 60, I don't know. Level 2 is 25%. I want to say level 3 would be 35, level 4 would be 45. maybe level 5 will be 55, or maybe it is 50. I don't know exactly. I'm sorry that I don't have this number for you, but obviously I don't have it maxed yet. But the point is, you'll be gaining, or you'll be taking less damage in cover, which is going to be good, especially in those harder difficulties, so you don't die. And then, like I said, you know, team revive, that's an option. You just do what you really want. I'm pretty good with the choices I've chosen, but you know, you guys just do with what you're happy with. Use what's good for you. And as far as bounties go, use what benefits your class. I prefer to roll with stuff like this, the survival ones, like normal survival, insane survival, whatever difficulty you're doing. Choose one of those. There's one for any difficulty, there's one for normal, so you could use the any difficulty if you're just going to play casual. 1 through 50, you get an extra 200 credits. I usually like to have this one on hand if I can get access to it. 1 to 50 on hardcore, it's an extra 400 credits. So wave 50, you get like 560, plus if you did it consecutively, you get like a bonus of 40. That's like 600 credits, plus you get an extra 400. I got that last night, so I got 1,000 credits. That's 2 cases to be opened. Or it could be an operations pack if you prefer to open those. I don't like the operation packs. But anyway, enough about the soldier. We've been talking about the soldier for a little while, too much. One last final tip I can say: to play the soldier well, just get those perfect reloads. You want those perfect reloads. Get them, get them, get them. As far as the play style, just stay in cover, mow stuff down with your Lancer, your Hammer Burst, your Retro, whatever you're using, just mow stuff down, and you're good to go, really. If you're finding that aiming down sights is getting you killed in the harder difficulties, try hip firing, or firing from cover. I mean, that's what I do when a Brumac spawns, or a Swarmac, we should call it. I'll just sit in cover and fire over the cover, get a perfect reload, and then just dump the whole mag. They're such a large target that you're almost guaranteed to not miss it. So even if you're firing from cover, then you don't really need that accuracy boost of aiming down sights. I'm not going to talk about all the classes, to be honest with you, because... or not as in-depth, I should say, because I'm not as good with the other classes, but I really don't like the sniper. So really all the tips I can give you is just shoot people's faces off. If you really want to play the sniper, go ahead, but I'll tell you now that the sniper is not as effective in the harder difficulties and longer waves as you would think. I've never got to wave 50 and had a sniper still in my game. They always leave. I don't know if it's because they're underpowered or they give up or what it is, but I've never seen an effective sniper. But I'm sure there are ones out there. If you're a good sniper and you think that you're going to be adequately effective to your team to help them, go for it. I would suggest, if you have to use these skills, I would suggest the Fabricator one if you have it. This one could be good. I do believe it insta-kills. Don't quote me on that, but I do believe it does. Obviously, precision rifle damage is good. That gives you just more overall sniper damage. There's reload speed option, ammo capacity. There's headshot kills explode. This is good for damaging groups of enemies. Headshot damage overall, that's good, especially if you're good at getting headshots, which you should be if you're sniping. And then there's mark boost. This one's really good because you can pretty much mark it's up to however many enemies. I don't know what level 5 marks. I want to say it's 10, but I'm not positive. And then there's the ping option, which marks all the enemies on the radar. I don't know how much it costs, but that one would be a pretty good option. Leveling it up just gives you more of a discount. So basically, if you really want to play the sniper, play support. Roll with team revive, because you know you're going to be sitting by the Fabricator sniping people. Rolling with team revive would be a good option if you've got it, so you can revive your team. Fabricator pinging, that way you can ping all the enemies and mark them all. Then your heavy will do more damage if he's running with the marked damage skill. And not only that, but then all your teammates will know what's coming from what direction. You know, at sniping, it's pretty straightforward. You just play kind of support, sit in the back. As far as the scout goes, you're going to want the deposit bonus. That is like a must-have. You gotta have this deposit bonus. And then for the easier difficulties, if you've only got 2 card slots, I would recommend taking the shotgun damage in the lower difficulties or the health boost in the higher difficulties. If you're doing like casual or normal, you shouldn't need the health boost unless you suck. If you suck, take it. If you don't, you can probably get away with the shotgun damage. I would not recommend the shotgun damage in the harder difficulties at all, because what me and my teammates like to do is kill all but one enemy, and then leave that one enemy alive while the scout goes and picks up all the power. Because remember that the scout only gets the double pickups during combat. So basically, maybe do something like a health boost so you don't die, have the fabricator deposit bonus, and then if you're level 5 and up and you have an extra slot, maybe take something like speed boost so you can run faster, or take something like health regeneration so you can regenerate your health better, or maybe even take a pickup distance so you can pick up the power from a bigger radius. That way you won't need to get as close to it. That could help too. 50% of power returned as health. That could be good if you're dying. Just run over some power, pick it up, and bam, you suddenly have more health. And you can even do Brawler, which makes you take less melee damage and do more melee damage. But in the higher difficulties, I really don't think shotgun damage is going to be very viable, because most of the time in hardcore or insane, most of the time your whole team is usually just sitting on turrets, and then toward the end of the round, like I said, just leave 1 or 2 enemies up while the scout runs out, picks up the power, returns to base, then you kill them, and it's over. Shotgun damage is really only for the lower levels. It is still effective, I won't lie, it's still effective. You can use it in the harder difficulties, but don't use it unless you're going to pair it with health boost and stuff too, because you don't want to be a glass cannon. You don't want to be doing massive amounts of shotgun damage, but then you're dying in like one hit, because then your team has to keep picking you up, especially if you've picked up multiple thousands worth of power. Say you pick up like 20,000 power and you're about to turn it into Fabricator, but you just die. Your teammate goes to get your tags and revive you, and they accidentally pick up your power. Well, now they have your power, and you're no longer going to be able to deposit it, so you're going to lose your Fabricator deposit bonus. They're going to put that 20,000 in. Bam, that's just 20,000 right there. But you, with your deposit bonus, you could be getting a much larger amount. If you have your deposit bonus, I keep saying deponus. If you have your deposit bonus at 50% and you go to put 20,000 in, you're getting an extra 10,000. So that's pretty amazing. Don't let your teammates pick up your power. Just don't die. Make sure you take your health boost. Take the health regeneration one as well, so you can regenerate your health quicker. Health regeneration is basically when you get into cover, you regenerate your health, obviously. So the quicker you do that, the better. That way if you're being chased, you can hop into cover real quick, and then just for a few seconds stay out of combat. You're going to get your health back, and then bam, you can go right back out again. As far as the heavy goes, it's self-explanatory. Explosive damage. The explosive damage does stack with heavy weapon damage, which is really amazing. So what I would recommend is get your explosive launcher damage as high as you can, and get your heavy weapon damage as high as you can. Then you can use the RL4 salvo, put those two together, and even the explosive launcher capacity, I think, benefits. Yeah, right there, and it says RL4 salvo. So even this one benefits. All three of these work great together for the salvo. Just grab yourself a salvo and absolutely wreak havoc. You can one-shot people if you've got both of them maxed out. You can just absolutely destroy anyone's day. I saw a heavy that had 100% on this, 50% on this, and I don't know if he had this or not, but basically he took a salvo and he killed a Brumac with like 5 rockets because he was doing so much damage per rocket. The blisters were just popping left and right. The Brumac didn't even get a chance to shoot his guns, because when you pop a blister he gets stunned for a minute because it hurts, I guess. So basically, if you've got a strong enough heavy on your team, he can just obliterate some of the higher end bosses. It's amazing. As far as the other skills go, explosive launcher speed could be good, but this might hurt you in the long run, because if you're reloading faster, it might be easier to miss the perfect reload. I'm not sure how it works because I've not actually tried it, but if you're not good at getting perfect reloads anyway, then it might benefit you, because then the active reload will be a little bit faster. There's things like the Mortar Strike. The Mortar Strike is pretty good. The higher level it is, the more damage and radius you get. There's Pistol Expert. I wouldn't really recommend the pistol one, but it is an option. There's Mark Damage. You can do more damage to marked targets. You could probably stack that with the explosive damage to do even more damage. And then, like I said, there's heavy damage turret stuff. If you want to sit in camp on a turret all day, there you go. Turret ammo, turret damage, bam, there you go. So that's really it for the heavy, self-explanatory, blow things the F up. And then as far as the engineer goes, it's self-explanatory as well. I mean, you just want to sit in the base and repair stuff, really. Repair boost efficiency is extremely good. You want to have that. Sentry stuff, you want to have that if you like putting sentries. But overall, the abilities that I would recommend is repair boost, 110%. You need this. Turret discount, turret health, these are amazing for the harder difficulties because you want turrets. And then I would probably recommend barriers. Barriers, turrets, and efficiency. Those are like the 5 best for the engineer. However, decoys are good too. So maybe barriers are kind of cheap already. So maybe what you can do is, decoys don't cost that much either. So maybe what you can do is do efficiency, turret discount, turret health, decoy health, and barrier health. Don't do these 2 discounts. Do the health instead, because discounts are actually kind of bad, because if you think about it, you need to spend money to upgrade your fabricator, and in order to do that, you have to spend a lot. It's like 120,000 from level 2 to 3, and then 3 to 4 is like 200,000. I don't know, it's a lot. So basically what you want to do is not go for the discounts, except for the turrets. The turrets cost a lot. You want to get the discount on the turrets. But then for the decoys and barriers, I would go for the health instead of the discounts, because you want them to have more health. They blow up easy. And that's really all I can say for the engineer. Stay in your base, stay on a turret, keep giving your teammates ammo with your gun, just, you know, play support. It's really not that hard. And then again, you know, for the bounties for all the classes, again, just choose what's benefiting you the most. And that's really all the advice I can give you guys for Horde mode. Engineer is just engineer, heavy, scout, sniper, soldier. Just pick what you like to do and just do it. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'm pretty sure that's all the tips I can give today. If you have any more questions or want me to give you some more tips or tricks or anything, let me know in the comment section below. I'm Onion Rings. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm out. Peace.